Hey everybody, little Stevie here. How y'all doing? Well, anyhow, I'm driving my bus today, and I'm driving, and I'm driving, and I'm driving, and I'm going back and forth and back and forth. And then I stop at a stop, and there's this nun standing there with a bag in her hand. So she gets on the bus, and all of a sudden there's like this smell. It's like it's gas. Like it's the worst smell I ever smelled. It's like, right? So I asked her, I go, man, what is that smell? And she goes, well, I'm sorry, but I have a dead chicken in my bag. And I'm like, dead chicken? I go, I'm sorry, man, but you can't bring that on here. So then she starts crying, and she gets off, and she puts it in the bag, and then she gets back on, and she's crying and crying. And I go, man, excuse me, sister, but what's wrong? And she goes, well, I just had a terrible day. And I go, well, you know, if you don't mind me asking, what's wrong? And she goes, well, our chicken at the convent passed away that laid eggs, and Mother Superior wanted to know if I'd go to the farmer's market and get another chicken. And I said, well, okay. And she goes, well, I had to walk through this park to get there. So I walk through the park, and I go to the market, and I pick up this chicken, and I'm on my way back, and this man jumps out of the woods and pushes me on the ground, and it kills the chicken. I go, well, man, that's terrible. She's just crying, and I go, well, man, you know, you can always go get another chicken. And she goes, no, you don't understand. It gets worse than that. So I go, well, man, how could it be any worse? She goes, well, after he pushed me on the ground, he had his way with me. And I go, well, man, that's terrible. Your chicken and that? I go, are you all right? She goes, no, it gets even worse than that. And I go, well, man, how could it get any worse than that? And she goes, well, after he pushed me on the ground, he stood up and he goes, ma'am, she goes, now what are you going to go back and tell your Mother Superior? And she goes, well, I'm going to have to go back and tell him the truth, or tell her the truth. And she goes, well, I was walking through the woods, coming back from getting the chicken, when you jumped out and pushed me down and had your way with me twice. If you're not too tired. Oh, well, that's my story. If it's funny, if you like it, go to YouTube, and I've got some more. So that's Bus Driver Little Stevie at YouTube. Well, y'all have a nice day. Until next time, take care. Bye-bye.